Hi Ruby, this is Unit 4, Homework 2 on rates and unit rates. So a unit rate is the price per item. So in the first example, you have 108 pencils to 27 students. So what we want to find out is how many pencils for one student. So you take 108 and divide it by 27, and then you get the unit rate, okay? Now, another way to do it is 108 over 27 is basically a fraction. So if you divide both of them by 9, then you're going to get your unit rate. So in this case, 108 divided by 9 is 12. And 27 divided by 9 is 3. Oh, it looks like you can simplify that even more. So if you take 12 over 3 and you divide it by 3, you now have 12 divided 4 to 1. So your unit rate is 4 pencils to 1 student. So every student would get 4 pencils. So 4 to 1 is your unit rate. Now it can also be written like this. So it can be written 4 to 1 or 4 to 1. So written as a fraction or written as a unit rate, either way. All right, so number 2 is 450 calories for 6 cupcakes. So let's say I am watching my calories. I would probably want to know if I'm going to eat only 1 cupcake, okay, how many calories are in the 1 cupcake. So I would take 450 and divide it by 6, okay? Well, I can also say, okay, 450 over 6, they're both even numbers, so I know I can divide by 2. If I take 6 divided by 2, I get 3. If I take 450 divided by 2, I get 225. Now 225 is not, it is divisible by 3. So I can take 225 and I can divide it by 3, and I get 3 divided by 3 is 1, and 75. So this means there's 75 calories in 1 cupcake. So it's 75 to 1. So now we have 21 hot dogs, and I'm just going to put HD for hot dogs, eaten in 60 seconds. So I'd really like to see what Joey Chestnut's record is. I have no idea, but I know it's good because he always wins that contest on the 4th of July every year. So these, you want to divide by probably 3. 27 divided by 3 is 7. 60 divided by 3 is 20. And so that means you can have 77 hot dogs in 20 seconds. Yeah, 20 can't be divisible by 7, and 7's a prime number, so you really can't get it any smaller than that. So I would say it's 7 to 20. And you can double check that by taking 60 divided by 21. Well, that's 2.85. So I think this is still really your best answer. All right, so this one, 1/2 cup of sugar for every 2/3 cup of flour. We're going to use division. So you take 1/2 cup and divide it by 2/3. Then you're going to do your keep, change, flip. So 1/2, change to multiplication, and then flip to 3 over 2. So now that's 3/4. So your unit rate is 3/4. So this one is 28 and 1/3 minutes to run 3 and 1/3 miles. So we're going to take our 28 and 1/3 minutes and we're going to divide that by 3 1/3 minutes. So the easiest way to do that is to convert to improper fractions. So 28 times 3 plus 1 gives us 85 over 3 divided by 3 times 3 is 9 plus 1 is 10 over 3. Then we do keep, change, flip. So we have 85 over 3 times 3 over 10. Then we can do our lovely cross cancel, which is fantastic. Then we can take 10 divided by 5 is 2, and 85 divided by 5 is 17. So now we have 17 over 2. So that means for every 17 minutes, there's 2 miles run. So if you take 17 divided by 2, that is 8.5. So that means, let's see, that means that you have 17, 8.5 over 1. So that means you run 8.5 minutes per mile. So now we want to express each rate as a unit rate, round to the nearest cent. So remember, your cent is your hundredth place. So it will be, we'll round to 2 places. So you'll look at the thousandth place, which would be the number here, to determine how to round each one. So number 6, you have 6 tubs of frosting for $5. Okay, so this you would take $6 divided by 5. And that is $1.20. So if you have to multiply it out or do it the long way, that is how you get $1.20. So it's $1.20 per tub. Of frosting. That one we did not need to round. So now we have $7.90 for 50 ounces. And we want to see how much it is per ounce. So we would take $7.90 divided by 50. And we put our decimal point here, and we know that 1 times 50 is 50, and we subtract 29, bring down our 0. Then we have 5. 5 times 5 is 25. So that gives us 40. Here we have to add a 0 and bring it down. And 5 times 8 is 400. Here is where they want us to round, because you can't have 158 thousandths as money. So this tells us you bump this up to 16. So that means it costs 16 cents per ounce. Now this is really helpful because maybe it's $7.90 at one grocery store, and it might, for 50 ounces, and it might be $8.30 for 60 ounces, and you want to see which one is cheaper. Is it worth driving to a different grocery store to get a better deal? I'm always doing that with my Coke Zero. because if Kroger runs a special where it's like buy two, get three free, obviously that's a better deal than Sam's where it's 36 for a certain price. So I'm always looking at where is it the best, where can I get the best deal on my Coke Zero. All right, so here we have 24 water bottles for $2.94. So we're going to take the 24 and we're going to divide it by the $2.95 because we're having 24 items. Hold on a second. Let me just try it the other way around. $2.95 divided by 24. That's the way we do it. So you're going to have $2.95 is what you're spending on 24 water bottles. So you want to find the price per water bottle. So it goes in once. Put your decimal point there, bring down your 5, and then it goes in twice, and 2 times 24 is 48, and we need to subtract 7. Now we need to add a 0 and bring it down, and let's see, 15 minus 8 is 7, so let's see, 24 times 3 is 72, which is too much. So we don't necessarily have to subtract, but we can. We have 46 left over, and we would continue to add zeros, but that's really not necessary. And we'd continue to do this, but that's not necessary because we can round our 0.122 to just 0.12. So that means it's 12 cents per water bottle, which is pretty cheap. All right, so now this one is what I was talking about before with my Coke Zero. They want you to figure out which one is the better deal. So you've got $9.95 divided by 30 ounces, or $3.50 divided by 12 ounces. So I'm just going to put this in the calculator. So $9.95 divided by 30 gives you 0.33 or 0.331, so that would round to 33 cents per ounce. Then we have $3.50 divided by 12, which is 0.291, which is 0.29. So the option B is the better price. All right, so now our last problem is 40 trash bags for $6.29. So $6.29 divided by 40, or $3.89 divided by 24. So our first one is $6.29 divided by 40, and that is 0.157, which would round to 0.16 cents. And the second one is 3.89 divided by 24, which is 0.162, and that rounds to also 16 cents. So they are the same. Technically, if you're rounding. If you're not rounding, option A is maybe a tiny bit cheaper.